Velvet Rope, but let's just get right into it because we are joined back by the one and only Amir. Yes.
Hi, y'all. I'm back, and it seems like you just couldn't shake me, David. You let me in, and now you can't shake me. So
Listen, Jeff Lewis has his chumps. I have my regulars too. I have my regulars. You are. Listen, I love the regulars here behind the velvet rope. Yeah, I guess I can't shake you. Listen, you're in the OC. You're close by. I'm in LA. We're gonna have our dinner. We're gonna have drinks.
can't wait.
Hi, and you're from the Vault podcast. How is your podcast going? I've caught lots of it. You guys are busy.
We're busy. We've banked 40 episodes, so it's been
Oh my
very.
God.
I know in the span of 2 months, I can't believe we have 40 episodes. So I that's kind of insane. But we're good. We're good. We have a lot of cool interviews. We have Jodie Sweetin from Full House tomorrow. So that'll be good. We're excited about her coming on. We have Titus Burgess from Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. We're getting like some actors. It's nice to go outside of the reality. We kind of look to you for that because we had kind of pigeonholed ourselves. And I was like, why don't we just interview who we want to interview?
I've had Jodie Sweet. Have you interviewed her yet?
I haven't. We've just been DMing. Is she wonderful?
Loved,
Okay.
loved.
Good.
And it's just like we talked about this last time. You can never tell. You just don't know. She's one of those that like I actually think you will love her. And I'm not just saying that. Like, so just way better than I expected her to be good, but she was just totally down for whatever.
I
Like,
love
great.
I love
Great.
that. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I was too. I like to mix it up. I don't know. One day, if the Bravo network goes away, like, I don't know. I think it's weird to have all your eggs in just one basket. Like, it is possible. Like, the real world is not on anymore. Like, it is possible that one day Housewives and Bravo, it's unlikely, but it's very possible.
Mhm. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But Jodie Sweetin is great. So that's good. I'm like all about the actors and actresses. And I told you, I think we talked about this last time. They're never the ones, well, I shouldn't say never. They're rarely the ones that cause drama. I have gotten the like take this out and take that out and that type of thing.
They love
But
to take it out, all that
Jodie
stuff.
should be. I mean, where do you think we are as we head into we're in 2025? Like, like Housewives in general, the ratings are down, but then you get this thing like OC. They had like 3 point something million viewers for the whole season, like one of their highest rated seasons in years. Like, where do you think we are with Housewives? Like, are we in a good place? What do you feel?
That's a good question. I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, okay, do I care? And then you have the whole Jen Aydin and the, Jersey Mike's drama. And then you're kind of like, okay, maybe I'm a little happy that she's off my screen. Like if she's bullying, I don't know. I'm like, sometimes with the Housewives, it's like they try so hard. Like now Chanel Ayan is on Dubai Bling, like she's with all those people. They just really can't
Yes.
stop. Well, yeah, she's been hanging out with all of them. So I'm like, are you going to be on that show now? Like they just, I don't like when there's thirstiness. And maybe I'm naive, but like 15 years ago when Kyle Richards did the Housewives, I feel like she didn't know. They weren't so thirsty. They were like, we're just going to show our lives. And then it became something. Now it's such a formula. It lost its charm for me.
I can't stand the thirstiness either. It really is my huge turnoff with all of these people. Like I hate to just I'm not negative. I just said great things about Jodie Sweet and it's not everyone. I just don't like the thirstiness either. It's really just my turn off just with people in general. Like I just like happy people, like people that are just internally happy inside. Like and just so I don't like that like yeah, I mean it's over for Jen Aydin. I'm sorry, it's over for Chanel Ayan. Like these are actual facts. So, like, I don't know, like you can't going and hanging out. Like I didn't even know she was hanging out with the Dubai Bling people. Chanel Ayan, like, find something to do. I don't know.
Right. Like you have a makeup brand, you have like fashion. It just feels like I like the people like Lisa Milan, who's like, okay, the show's over. I'm gonna go back to my normal life. Like that's instead of like Carolyn Brooks,
Hmm.
all the tweeting and you're like, I don't care about the show, but then why are you tweeting at everyone about the show? So you do care about the show. Just own it.
Right. Like Carolyn Brooks, like she just did that interview where she said it was manipulated and this, it's like, No kidding. Like, we all know this. Like, you're still talking about the show. And don't get me wrong. Like, if you're going to tie it to a business like Luann's Cabaret, like, that is an actual, like, go for it. Even Melissa Gorga. Now, I don't know how well the sprinkle cookies did. I know they sold out, but, like, what does that mean? Did you make a million trillion of them and they sold out? Did you make a limited batch? She's doing, but fine. You know what? Brilliant idea. Like, if you're gonna, like, if that's gonna be a real, if she's doing Valentine's cookies coming up, like, look, if this is like a real business and you have to parlay it from the Housewives, I have no problem with that personally, because that to me is different than talking about, what happened between you and Teresa five. Like, Teresa to me is just talking about it still.
She's still talking about it. And then it's like you're still with Jen Aydin going and you're just like beating a dead horse. And Melissa, even though I get it, like in her comments with her cooking videos, I don't know if you saw the comments, everyone's like, you're copying Teresa. Teresa did not invent cooking. Like she's
No.
allowed to do a cooking video and she never once brings up Teresa. It's her husband, it's her daughter. She's talking about cooking. And I actually like it because it's actually real. Like she's not wearing full glam when she's cooking. Joe is like picking on her. It's actually kind of like a little mini reality show. I watched a couple episodes and I don't even cook. So, you
And
know,
you just gotta like listen, like one day, I don't know when we should do this. One day on here, we should just go like franchise by franchise of it'll take a minute for me to pull my list up. Franchise of a housewife that's not on anymore. This is a really good idea. And just let's not overthink it. Let's just go with our gut of like thirsty and desperate since you left the show or like gotten over it. I would put Melissa in the like, she's not really, I don't find her to be thirsty since she left the show, since the New Jersey is over as we know it for the moment. And let's talk about this in a year and a half, people. I just don't find her thirsty. I mean, without overthinking it, I just like Lisa Rinna, not thirsty, reinvented herself,
yeah,
not talking about housewives.
not at all. And even when she ran into Kathy Hilton a couple of days ago on the red carpet, it was like, "Hi,
Mhm.
how are you?" It wasn't like, "How's Housewives?" Like she was just like, "Hi, how are you?" Like, I'm sorry, she's on Paper Magazine. Like she's not worried about Bravo anymore. Like,
No.
yeah,
I mean, I say like truly from the bottom of my heart, that is how I would be. Like if this podcast, it's not going to happen. But if it ever does, which won't be this year, goes into the toilet and this is over, I can promise you, I will not care about Teresa versus Melissa. I will not care about, Dorit and I promise you, I really won't. I just won't. It's not my, I'll be over it.
I agree. I agree. And also we move on. Like everyone was like, "Oh, Potomac is never going to survive without Candace and Robin." I honestly don't even notice they're not there.
I think this is
People
the best season of Potomac we've had in a really long time.
agreed. And you move on. You're like, oh, and then there was a moment like on when they were on vacation where I was like, oh, it'd be cool if Robin was here with Giselle because I like them on vacation. But I never thought about her once.
No, I really don't think like even like Vanderpump, Bethany, like I truly like feel the sum of the whole is greater than the parts. That's just me. Like I get over things like when Stassi wasn't on like, like I don't know. It just now look, there are bad seasons, sure, but I never really say, oh, I have to have this person back. I just don't. I
Yeah,
really don't.
I don't. And you can't blame one person. Everyone's like, oh, Ariana because she wanted more money or she didn't. That's why the show ended. It's like, no, the show ended because it ended. Like you have to sometimes accept that. And I've been in those rooms with executives when I worked in PR, and executives sometimes are like, are we over that show? And they just